My name is Derek Griffin, and I am a professional shooting coach in Denver, Colorado. My background includes working in the NBA, USA basketball, playing on a national team, traveling the world, winning three-point contests, and then I have perfected the art of shooting that I want to teach everybody that wants to play and shoot baskets. First, I have separated into three main categories of importance when it comes to shooting. One being the science of shooting, and then the alignment of shooting, and the repetition of shooting. First thing I'm going to do is talk about the science of shooting. In science, I've separated into three categories in itself. It's about the old school compared to the new school, the physics of shooting, and and what I believe is the importance to bring the science that we have taken in other sports such as golf, baseball, football, things that I have studied it scientifically in using it for basketball. One being the old school. Old school basketball shooting includes, or definitely includes, shoot it your way. Make shots your way. And as soon as I heard that, and I heard that a long time ago when I was a young child being taught how to shoot myself, I learned that eventually I have to ask the question, why? And I'm looking around the NBA, college basketball, high school basketball, and wondering why we have so many different types of shots. And then I started thinking, who are the best shooters ever to be? So I would take a look at them. So the Steph Currys, the Klay Thompsons, the Ray Allens, the JJ Redicks, some of the historically great three-point shooters of the NBA. So I started looking at them more in depth, and what I found out was they're all the same. And then I started hearing guys like LeVar Ball talk about his son's shot, and his son had, Lonzo Ball had the worst shooting form I've ever seen, and it drove me bananas, but he kept saying, doesn't matter, just shoot your own shot, rep it out, rep it out, rep it out, and eventually I go, I don't agree with this. Why doesn't he shoot like Steph Curry? If Steph Curry is the best three-point shooter in the world, why are we all not shooting like him? Let me take a step back. Golf. If you go online, you can find about 1,000 different websites that dissect the science of swinging a golf club down to the angle and velocity of the club. And then everybody does the same thing, and everybody teaches the same thing. And you're wondering, oh, that's really smart. If the greatest golfer in the world is Tiger Woods and we all want to swing like Tiger Woods, that should translate. And then in baseball, swinging a baseball bat, throwing a baseball, there is a scientific, just a million websites dedicated to why those two things go hand in hand. And then you look at basketball and you go, there is zero science saying shoot it like this. So eventually I was just like, I'm going to study it scientifically. And what I found out was there is a scientific way to shoot a basketball to have the best chances to make a shot. So, first category is science. We got to be physically in the right position. This will transfer into our second rule, which is alignment. So when I shoot a basketball, I believe you want to be in something called the shooting alignment. If you're a right-hand shooter like I am, we want a line going from your toe, knee, hip, elbow, wrist, ball, where the energy from your leg is going to come all the way out. Energy travels in straight lines. If I start doing this, the energy from my legs are going to go through my elbow and not through the ball. We want our ball directly underneath our elbow, but then we need our elbow directly underneath our knee and our hip. So I call it a shooting alignment. Everything needs to end up coming to this alignment here in order for you to have the best chances to make a shot. Now, I can give you alignment, I can make it scientifically possible. There's other X factors such as hand-eye coordination and athleticism, and timing and depth perception and things like that are X factors to athletes being able to throw and hit a target from a certain distance that sometimes you're gifted in birth and sometimes you have to work on it consistently. So, first rule is science. Scientifically, we have to mimic the greats. 2, we have to be in the right alignment so the science of the energy that we want to produce through the ball can go through the ball. And 3, we want to rep that process out at the very end. Now, often Old school or bad shooting coaches will go vice versa. They'll start with repetition and not worry about the science or the alignment. So I believe we go science, alignment, rep. Once we get the first two done, repetition is going to happen. Now, when it comes to where we want the ball and the angles in which we want our wrist, our elbow, and our arm, we want this to, with or without your left hand, we don't want the ball to move at all. We want that ball to stay there. A lot of times when people add the second hand, you'll see the ball transfer and push onto the left hand. Any pressure from the left side will cause a massive inconsistency in regards to accuracy. So if you're I would say 90% of kids want to push it with their left hand, their offhand I call it, and that causes inconsistency. Why? Because we have two energy sources going through one object, and what we ideally want to do is create one. Here, here, and then when we bend and shoot, we release, this left hand does its job, the ball leaves the last two fingers, giving us the best opportunity to make a shot. So little things that will help you become a great shooter other than your alignment. So, keep your alignment, toe, knee, hip, elbow, ball. And then, from the leg standpoint, the feet. We want our feet shoulder width apart, right foot slightly ahead of your left foot if you're a right-hand shooter, opposite if you're left. What you'll see in most players at times is that their knees will go in. What we want to do is prevent that for two reasons. One, to go with my philosophy of energy production. We don't want energy leaving our body going away from the ball. We want a nice strong base. But that goes for all of that athletic movements. We never want to do this. This makes you susceptible to ACL tears and knee problems down the road. So what we want to do is create a strong base. So the first thing you want to see is your knees not collapsing. Feet shoulder apart. Good angle on the ball. Ball should be splitting your face, keeping your left or outside eye exposed to the rim. And then we want to bend, shoot, hold our ball without any pulling or twisting of the arms. A lot of times when we shoot, we want to do this or this. We want to keep this alignment exactly straight. So when we shoot, we're here to here, not here to here, or here to there. Okay? And as the ball leaves your hand, we want to snap these fingers, and we want the ball to have these two fingers touching last. If we start using the outside fingers, then what you'll see is an outside motion and a wobble to the ball we don't want. So as we shoot again, what we want to see is a snap follow through, creating the backspin. Backspin is important because when the ball hits the rim, it creates a soft landing spot, the ball dies on the rim, and it creates a better opportunity for you to make a shot. Another important part to shooting is going to be the speed of the shot. And what I want to do is create a platform so the efficiency of the movement is optimal. But as you get older and get stronger and you want to be a higher level basketball player, you're going to want to do things like strengthen your body. The old school thinking is lifting ruins shooting, and that can be further from the truth. You want strong legs and a strong shoulder complex to be a great shooter. And there's other muscles within your arms, your triceps, your biceps, your forearms. All the muscles within your arm and shoulder complex are important to shooting. And the stronger you are, the less energy you have to produce and compensate for. Because when we don't have enough strength, we do a lot of twisting and we do a lot of pushing and a lot of things that ruin shooting. So what I want to do is talk about how to create a quicker base, doing a few little footwork and handwork drills here. So sometimes when it comes to shooting, the simple answer is just, how do you become a fast shooter? Yeah, well, you shoot it fast. But before you can even do that, you got to go through the steps. Before we can rep fast, we got to be aligned, and we got to have the science of good shooting, and we want to duplicate the best people. But as I get into quick shooting, we want to see how fast you can receive the ball, either from a pass or from the dribble, and then how quick you can get it from the lower shooting pocket to the upper shooting pocket. So a nice, easy way to even start that is just a quick dribble into the shot, and then bring the ball as fast as you can up to your head. Okay. You can also mix that up with the one dribble. You can go between the legs as fast as you can, and you want to move that ball as quick as you can. So here, and you can do a variety of different combinations between the legs, behind the back, hard dribbles. Also, you can work on your pivot footwork. Having the ball in your lower shooting pocket, you're going to pivot and then pivot back and shoot. So you can go out, in, shot. You can do vice versa. You can jump forward, go back, shot. Kevin Durant and some of the NBA guys, they go real creative with this drill. They'll go spin, land, shot. Anything that creates some difference of receiving and locating your target and shooting the ball quickly will help the chances of the ball going in. Free throw shooting is a very unique and important part of basketball. I think it's separate from every other part because, one, you're not in gameplay, you're not moving. It is the same thing every single time, where in regular gameplay, three-point shooting isn't the same. You're moving, you're defended, you're open, you're tired, you're not tired, you're being pushed, you're being pulled. Free throw shooting is the same every single time. So there is a absolute process that you need to go through to become a great free throw shooter. The greatest free throw shooters in the world believe and compare free throw shooting almost to a meditative process. Slowing your heart rate down, focusing, blocking out everything around you to make the free throw, especially because things like pressure and having the game add a lot of components that create mental blocks to make shots. So I was a 90+% free throw shooter all through high school and college, and I was taught very early by a good shooting coach how to make free throws. And the first thing you do, and the interesting part is, I have to describe how they build a gym. When they lay the floor, they paint the lines, they measure the middle of the free throw lines on each side, and they pound a nail in the floor, and they tie a string from the middle of the rim to the free throw line, to the other free throw line, to the middle of the rim. So when it's all said and done, you have a straight line splitting the floor in half. Every good free throw shooter looks down. And if my shooting principles hold true, then you need to find your shooting foot and put it behind the nail on the floor. So right here we have the nail on the floor. I'm gonna put my right foot behind it to align my feet, knee, hip, shoulder, elbow, ball, wrist to the middle of the rim. Now I'm not shooting this way, I'm not shooting that way. A lot of people try to eye it and try to find it here. No, there's an easier way. Every single gym has a nail in the middle of the free throw line. You find that, you put your shooting foot there, and start your process. Now, I believe that simplifying your routine makes it very important. Mine is very simple. Everyone has a different dribble routine, spin it, dribble it. People get really creative and ridiculous with it, but I don't care about all that. I want you to make this, you can make it unique to yourself, but you better be a good free throw shooter if you're gonna be wild with your routine. First things, nail on the floor. Second thing, routine. Whether it's a dribble or not, some people don't dribble, some people just spin. I do 2 dribbles. I go 1, 2, then I locate the rim. I do something called a set point. This is where I like to have people breathe, slow their heart rate down, focus on their target before they even shoot the ball. So it goes nail, free throw, routine, that's 2 dribbles, 1, 2, locate, breathe, slow your heart rate down, boom, shoot. Now, little secrets you can use to become a great free throw shooter. Something I teach all my kids is you can do this. You should be able to make a free throw eyes open or eyes closed. It doesn't change. Your target doesn't move, but what your brain does is sometimes overloads the situation. So it could be depth perception. So the empty space in an arena behind a rim really messes with your depth perception. So anytime you are in a free throw struggle or slump, I always say, make one with your eyes open, make one with your eyes closed. Eyes open, eyes closed. And it's the same rhythm, the same routine, does not change. It helps mentally focus, makes you believe, builds confidence. Easy way to make free throws at a high percentage. So to become a great shooter, you need to study the science of shooting, mimic the greats. You need to create your shooting alignment to give the science the best opportunity to produce the easiest shot. and then you need to do reps. And reps goes on and on. You can do, what I like to do is perfect the form before we get to moving fast and being tired of shooting. That takes a long time. The earlier you can start this process in life, the better off you'll be later in life. I don't, the hardest thing is taking an old dog, teach them new tricks, but it is possible later in life to perfect your shot. I've seen it done a million times. Start it early and then rep it, keep an eye on it. I believe that there's usually about 4 transformations. People often relate me to a shot doctor. I'm more of a shooting chiropractor. That means as you grow and get stronger, I realign you. You will randomly go off alignment, and I'll ask you why, and you don't know why. But I believe it's because you've got stronger, you got taller, your coordination has changed. A lot of things go through as you grow and get stronger. So you want to keep your eye on it. So I believe there's about 4 transformations between being an 8-year-old and a 21-year-old that you have to go through to stay as on the path of elite shooting. So science, alignment, repetition, stay on top of it, you'll be a great shooter.